my friend. Today, Monday Music, we're going to be talking about a little bit of strumming, and because I'm going to be doing a little bit of stuff on the baritone uke, that's what I would like to highlight today. One of the books that I go through is the Hal Leonard Method book. I dig on it. The reason being, it gives me a sense of familiarity. Every time I learn a new instrument, I stick with the same type of book. Like when we start doing different instruments, you will find yourself using the same fingering kind of patterns and shapes. So if you haven't seen this channel, check it out. There's pretty much a lot of chords. So if you're looking for like how to play a E flat minor 7, it's on this channel. It's in a bunch of different instruments, whatever you play. If I don't play that instrument, please ask questions about music theory and whatnot amongst the community and the people. Keep it friendly, because this is kind of a family type channel. Other than that, today we're going to be going over strumming the way I was taught, and I'm going to teach it to you. Well, when we play a downstroke, we're actually seeing the 1. When I count 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm counting slowly, these are going to be what we call quarter notes. Now the idea is a whole note has 4 of those. Almost all subdivisions follow this concept. When you're going fast and doing some sort of strumming pattern, it's just quarter notes that are shoved together, and when we take 2 quarter notes, we call it an 8th note. So it has like a down up feel. When I do that, I'm playing down up using fingernails on both my hands, and it's a kind of idea where I'm acting like I'm holding an imaginary pick and keeping the other 3 fingers out of the way. So when we're talking about just the strumming style, I'm not playing these open. I'm putting my fingers on these strings, and I'm not playing them all the way. I'm just holding them like that. If you've been playing for a little minute and you know what a harmonic is, that kind of tension. Just resting on the string but not pressing down so you're fretting an actual note. So the concept, let's do it in the beginning. We're gonna call these a teeter-totter, and the reason why I show rhythm with chords, like playing on a baritone ukulele, this would be a G major, not a C. So if you're playing on an ukulele, great. If you're playing on a guitar, play a chord, doesn't matter what it is. 3-finger chords work great because the whole idea is finger substitution. But let's start with rhythm first. When we go with the downstroke, we have a 1. If I keep that hand going and express more, I'm actually moving those using a rest system. Now, the value of the rest is the same as the note. We're just not playing an audible ear, but the space between is the music. So when we play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, we're exhibiting that we could wait and come back on the 1, meaning we're gonna give it all the appropriate down and upbeat. So when we play 1 and, the and is the upbeat. We try and view all music being in some sort of meter or measure of tempo, and when going up and down, the chords that we use can move in function. But when you're writing a song and you have moving correlating fingers that move with a melody, those have more to do with like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do chords and scales that move together, making rhythm patterns and melodies. The rhythms, though, that we play over on the other hand are going to give us the idea of being able to play almost everything with this simple routine. So if you practice this for 5 minutes a day, I think you're going to, blow away all of your expectations and have fun at the same time. I'm just going to play a C on a standard uke or a G on a normal baritone. So when you hear this and you know it's a G, I'm going to just play it on up here. And we would have basically the same chord. If I were to move it to anywhere other structure on this fretboard, I'd be transposing. So if you got a baritone uke, play with me. If you got any instrument, play it in the key of G. Get your strum pattern on, and here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Notice how I started it over again, and the rhythm pattern that I was keeping last time helped me remember which stanza I was on. Now the concept is this: I don't really want to break up what my strumming hand is doing. No matter what I do, I kind of want to keep it in that swagger and that sway and that rhythm. And what happens is, you'll notice is when we get faster in doing this, you can't move the hand up and down beyond this and still get that rhythm to fall on the 1 if you're doing something called a 32nd note or a 16th note. So when we take this beat and we don't do it just on the 1 and we focus in on our wrist, being the one that moves up and down, we actually do a little bit of both. The hand goes up and down because it's a straight line between the back of the elbow and the middle finger, being a fulcrum. So when we have this concept and we can keep just a standard whole note rhythm, if we think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, down, 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 down. If we play on the 1 and the 3, we've then just turned that whole note into a half note. If you want to, you could observe doing just this and get just the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to. But believe me, if you start keeping your hand in this swinging motion, when we start adding every downstroke, and we call these quarter notes, they will be much easier to understand why we then say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to achieve eighth notes. It has like a quarter, 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 down, up, eighth note, eighth note. Now again, a single stroke, do-do-do-do-do, that's a quarter note. If we do a down, up, that's an eighth note. And at this point when I'm counting eighth notes, sometimes when I'm counting, I'll say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 to keep the place same as before. I can say 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 3 and, but that gets a little complicated unto itself. The next step is to take this and just think double time. We're gonna move this up, so we're going 1 E and a 2 E and a, except we're not gonna be playing in eighth note, we're gonna be playing in 16th note. 1 E and a 2 E and a 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 and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. Let your hand go a little bit looser, and as you notice, you can't do that huge gate anymore. It has to be a smaller gate using the wrist. Now you don't have to go as fast as I'm going. We can still do 16th notes if we were to start off our whole note 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and half notes and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now quarter notes. We're going to be doing 1 and to get eighth notes, so go down and up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice how when I'm playing on my plucking hand, strumming hand, I try and move my fingers to express the same chord that I'm playing no matter what finger I'm using. This allows for agility and being able to play the same chord in different positions. For those of you who know a little bit of fretboard knowledge, this is a G major on a baritone uke, a C on an ukulele, and if we play this, it's the same exact chord, except we're now closing all those notes for a staccato fill rather than a very open legato fill. So what we're going to talk about right now is after our 16th notes of 1 E and a 2 E and a, you guessed it, you can do it even faster and you can have subdivisions of that. Now we just don't go over the process of saying 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E for nothing. When we double that and we do it twice as fast, they're 30-second notes, we still count with that same process. 1 E and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. You just kind of blend them together because the beats become the syncopation. There are other methodologies to count this in. If you are familiar with, rhythms, you can just count it out and see it in your mind's eye. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can't do 30-second notes, but I wish you could. That's why if you start slow enough, you can see it in progress. If you're doing stick work and drum work, whatnot like that on some sort of drum and percussion, you get your hands to do that. You can practice these in different roles, which do accomplish what a 30-second note would sound like. Anyway, I really enjoyed today. I hope you did too. If you like, thumbs up, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you next Monday for another type of technique. Aloha.